What's going on, guys? Welcome to Final Fantasy Wave Actors video, and today we're going to be talking about some units that may be upcoming. Maybe you follow my channel, or maybe you're just new around here and you're wondering, hey, what kind of units I should be looking out for? So I do showcases on a lot of units that I find interesting that may be interesting for you guys, but if you never saw any of those, this is the video to watch. So as I was going through this, I noticed that I was skipping a lot of banners, so the months may not be accurate completely on some. I think December is the most accurate, but I think after that it's going to start becoming less accurate, so take that as you will. But keep in mind, guys, a lot of things could happen. A lot of global original events could be happening throughout this time. So anyways, Taiwas is definitely one of the next units to look forward to. Yes, unfortunately he is also premium, but he's very hard hitting and his STMR is very, very useful. So definitely want to look out for him. He's a very strong fire SLB, unfortunately, as well, but he's a very strong fire finisher. I really don't like SLBs too much, but Taiwas is definitely one of the better ones. But if there's a trade-off, he's extremely hard to gear for killers. If you're not fighting something that he's not strong against, it's a bit of a challenge to gear him properly. So I'm hoping, I don't think they'll give him a buff, but hopefully maybe that's a bit of a hopium thing, but hopefully they give him like, I don't know, like more TDH or more limit burst damage. That'd be great. 50% more limit burst damage would be great. Anyways, Summoner Elena, but not for her base form, because her base form is really laughably bad. And the reason for that is because in her base form, her limit burst has an area effect for both sides that give fire resistance, so it's just pointless. She's basically Terra in her base form almost, except for the effect that it gives, so it's like really redundant. Like it's silly. So for her Brave Shift form, because she can be a breaker, she can be a wind chainer, she can be imbued as well, and she can also be a limit burst chainer. So she can also be a provoker. She has auto provoke, or not auto provoke. She has a provoking skill, but also giving herself mirage. So I think her brave shift form is quite good, and I use it quite a lot. Her base form, I've never used it. I've never used it for anything. And then the next part, some holiday banners and reworks obviously are going to be happening. I don't really know what's going to happen with those, other than Eldrin's going to get a rework of some kind, probably. Most likely just like Ibarra did, and it's probably going to be decent, and it's probably going to be Clash of Wills oriented. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. What do you think Eldrin's going to get? What do you think Eldrin needs? I've used Eldrin on the CN version, but he was buffed up a lot, so it's not like he was lacking anything. Anyways, keep in mind, I don't think the January is going to be completely accurate in this, but yeah, I forgot I was skipping a lot of stuff, so it was kind of a hindsight thing here. But new Vision Kane will be arriving eventually. Eventually, and he's quite good because he has there will be a change in terms of how TDH Dragoons work, where he'll have a fixed variance, and it'll be a lot better than before with TDH Dragoons. So you could still build him to wield if you want to, but I don't think that's really necessary anymore. Very strong finisher, very strong Dragoon. Probably will be topping the charts once the variance thing happens. He'll be up there. Graph, very strong cooldown, abusive type non-elemental DPS finisher. He could be a chainer, but I don't think you'd want to bring him for that. So how Graph works is basically he has like Crown Prince Noctis or Regina or any of those type of units where you got to use a bunch of abilities and then use a finisher. So he builds up his modifiers, but he's very powerful. His Brave Shift form cooldown on turn 3 or turn 2 if you use Roka. Roka is definitely recommended if you're going to be using Graph. And so he just becomes really powerful, and not to mention he's not an elemental, so quite powerful. Dark Rain, unfortunately another premium unit. I know I tried not to highlight a lot of premium units, but unfortunately a lot of them are good. Dark Rain is another addition to that. Very powerful dark magic finisher. Obviously, he's not going to be as strong as Sephiroth, but I've been using him recently in Dark Visions, and he hits quite hard against Dark Vision stages that require Dark, along with Renoa, of course. So Dark Rain is really powerful, but he's expensive because he's unfortunately he is premium. So, and also for some reason he likes to use spears. His STMR obviously is very good because it gives him 500 flat magic and stuff like that. So you would want to use his STMR, but you could potentially forego that with equipping 2 rods instead for Rod in Peril. But he does have a spear in Peril, so there's that as well. So it's okay. Next we have CG Fina, the second Emperor version, not the other one. Obviously they're not going to release the same CG Fina. So this Fina is quite good because she has a lot of capabilities in terms of light and stuff like that. She has 125% human and demon killer combined in one cooldown, very good. I know it's not 150, but if you're fighting 2 races, I would say 150% for both demon and human is quite good. She also gives light imbue, light amps, all the 9 yards, all the kind of good stuff. She's unfortunately also premium. I don't really understand. I really don't see her as a premium unit really. She's very good, but she's not. I don't think she's really worth the premium tag. But her vision card actually, if you go on the wiki and look at it, you might say like, oh, re-raise, who cares? But actually, it is useful for one trial in particular. So you'd have to go to EX3 to get that. That's a bit of a yikes, but. She also has a Bahamut summon for, she can summon Bahamut for a light in peril, very good. Or is it a light amp? It's a light amp or a light in peril, I've already forgotten, but it's very powerful. Next, Knights of Grandshelt, who I've used a few times on this channel, very strong because sadly for everybody who loves Sephiroth, this guy actually finally power creeps Sephiroth. And the reason for that is because he has well, first of all, he has a higher modifier at the max stacks. And he's a Brave Shift unit, so you can entrust him over and over again on like SLB units. And on top of that, he hits twice. So it's a lot more powerful than hitting one time. You're going to be able to get over those caps and things like that. So he's going to be hitting very hard. He is locked to light, but I mean, we're not so different. We're not so indifferent to that kind of stuff anymore, right? Sorceress for Noah, I've made tons of videos on her. She's very powerful. She can cast her finisher 4 times so that she can get past any caps, any cap limits. You'll be hitting really hard with her, and if you got her all set up, so turn 1, summon Diabolos. Turn 2, use her Brave Shift LB, and turn 3, quad cast her Apocalypse. Gotta enhance it, by the way, or else you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. But very powerful, and she gets a lot of killers because of her TMR has a lot of killers tied to it, as well as her STMR has some as well. So very good. And finally, the most recent banner, or if we're all caught up now, and keep in mind these dates might not be correct, but anyways, Marlith is the last one. Now you might be surprised, hey, why is Warrior Light not on here? Yes, he is very good, and he's not premium, so you could go for him as well. Marlith, however, changes the game completely. If you watched one of my previous videos yesterday, she is monumentally powerful with Vivi in particular. Vivi, you would think, oh, Vivi, you know, he's pretty good. He's pretty powerful. I use him for Dark Visions all the time, kind of stuff like that. But can you, I would never imagine in my wildest dreams that Vivi would be doing more damage than Dark Rain at his max power. And he's a chainer and he's doing more damage than a finisher. He's basically stronger than a finisher as a chainer. I never thought that would ever happen where a chainer can do more damage than a finisher now. So that's quite impressive. And the reason why she's able to do that is because she gives a 200 times mod chain, bolting strike chain nonetheless, to everybody. So now he's going to be hitting over 200 chain. And technically it's actually 210 times because the starting modifier is 10 times. So it's 210 times mod and you're quad casting that while reflecting it. It's insane damage. So Marlith is definitely chef's kiss, very powerful, very, very powerful. If you need to do something fire related in Dark Visions, you're bringing her along. And also she's a decent SLB finisher. It's not the most powerful thing of all time, but it will help. It'll help. She can help cap the chain pretty much because she'll do 300 times mod fire finisher. And if the battle lasts long enough, I really doubt that, but if the battle lasts long enough, she would have a 500 times mod in total on her bolting strike chain, which is insane. So she'd be doing 1,500 times, unless she can have quadcast. I believe she can have quadcast, and that would be even 2,000 times chain in total for fire. That's quite powerful. I think that's how that works. Actually, she has more I forgot. She has more modifiers than that. She has a passive, or it's like 70 something times mod. So it would be even higher than that. So very powerful in total. Very, very powerful Marlith. I wanted to mention her at the very end here. So any of these units interest you, let me know in the comment section down below. If I missed any, if I didn't talk about any, then they're not really that interesting or worth talking about, in my opinion. Of course, something may be interesting to you, like Dolgan or Harvey, you know, those kind of units. They're okay, I guess, but not really worth your lapis too much. So that being said, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.